Well, hello. How are you today? Hope you're doing well, my friend. I am hopefully going to do some more drawing today. Tried to do this last Thursday, and the YouTubes did not cooperate, or I guess the, the internet did not cooperate. Um, just doing a double check right now to see if my own feed is working, and it does look like the quality is a bit better this time around. So that's good. That's good to see. Um, if at some point you have any questions, want to ask me anything, um, feel free to comment. Let me know what's going on in your mind. If there's any questions I can answer about drawing, my drawing process, or the tools that I'm using, or techniques, um, or even if you have random questions about JavaScript, I can answer those too. Maybe Node.js, all this techie stuff. But I know not everyone who gets on these streams is part of the software community, and that's okay. That actually that's pretty awesome. I'm glad that I'm able to get more than just developer friends and so forth on these streams. So today I have several um, folks lined up or in my queue that I've been meaning to draw. Hey, what's up, Ben? Nice to hear from you on Facebook. Good to see that an old friend is tuning in for today's drawings. I've got, let's see. Um, so there was a request some on one of my previous streams for me to draw this gentleman, and so I'm going to honor that request and draw him today for a for a good friend. Miss you too, Ben. I miss our church family in up in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and miss miss being in that area. There's things that we really like. We've grown to love about being in North Georgia, and friends and family that we've been able to, you know, uh, get to know here where we live now. But yeah, I miss Nashville, and I miss that whole area, and miss seeing a lot of you folks that I got to know and love over the years living there. So I hope you're doing well, Ben. How's that? Did you ever finish that house project? I know you were posting pictures on Facebook or Instagram or something at some point, um, and it was fun to follow along. My wife and I, we watch home shows all the time. That's our go-to. Like, we'll watch renovation shows. Someday we may buy our own fixer-upper, but I don't know. Maybe we wouldn't. Maybe we wouldn't survive such a project. Who knows? All right. So, as I've talked about before, usually when I'm drawing a, I added a whole bunch of brushes recently, and so I've filled up my list of brushes. I gotta find my old brushes that I'm used to. There we are, avatars. Let's move this up at the top. I don't want to. There we go. Get my Bold Inker Streamline by BJ Dell, one of my favorite YouTubers. And let's get that brush size down a little bit more. So I usually start with the eyes. I say the eyes are the windows to the soul, or whatever that phrase is. I do know that eyes are critically important when it comes to drawing people's faces. You don't get the eyes right, kind of the rest is going to fall apart. I like exaggerating the eyes a little bit. Yeah, Ben says a house is never finished. Boy, that's true. Even if you move into a house that's supposedly move-in ready, well, you move in, then you better get ready for all the stuff you got to do. Am I right? Another thing is I usually exaggerate the eyebrows too, so apologies in advance for anyone that might be upset by exaggerated eyebrows. Hey Troy, good to see you on the channel today, and this drawing is for you, my friend. You or Chelsea one put me up to drawing this one, so I'm gonna try to honor that. I hope my head's not getting into the shot too much. For some reason, I've got more of a glare, at least from my point of view, on the screen today. So I'm having a little bit harder time uh, seeing some things. So that's that's okay, but that's a little bland. Let's give him a little bit of a kind of reminds me of the Amazon smile, right? On the box. I don't know. I'm getting a box almost every day from Amazon. UPS comes by, and if they're not delivering something, they're probably gonna uh, ring my doorbell just to make sure everything's okay, because I've been getting packages almost every day. Someone in my family, and it's usually my fault, right? Is ordering way too much stuff from Amazon. All right, looking good so far, I think. That's that's my opinion. Let's see what's next. Usually do ears, so let's go ahead and make an ear here. Don't really have much of an ear to draw on that side, so I think I'll wait. Just kind of make up something. Something like that, maybe. Well, yeah, that works. That's it's working. Maybe I'll back off the hairline just a little bit. I like to exaggerate people's hair. They usually appreciate having more hair than not. I don't want to overdo it. Maybe that'll work. And then why not? I'll go ahead and draw the full profile. And tie. Oh, sometimes when you unhide stuff, it becomes obvious what's been missed. So I'll just clean up some of these lines. And now let's start on some coloring. After some coffee, of course. All right, so let's get skin tone color here. Now, one thing that's always an issue with any photo is what's the eye color? Let's play, guess the eye color. I've kind of, sometimes I can guess the correct eye color based on just experience, but sometimes I am just totally baffled or surprised by um, by some of the eye colors that, like, I will, what looks like the eye color in the photo, and then the person coming back and saying, no, 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 my eyes are green. I'm like, okay, they look totally brown in the photo. So you just never know. What's up, David Hobbs? Good to see you, my friend. It's always cool to see who shows up on the these casts, these streams. Anyway, that being said, it does look like this gentleman's eyes are brown. So that's what I'm going to assume. until told otherwise. It's can be easily changed. So when I tell people, when I give them their drawing back, if they didn't tell me ahead of time what their eye color is, I you know, eye color is something that's I can easily fix. Same goes for the hair. I'm going to go with a just a standard brown. A lot of my drawings look very similar because a lot of times I use the exact same colors. Um, and that's okay. I used to get complaints uh, when my avatars first started getting popular, and a lot of folks were getting them. I would get complaints like on Twitter where people would say, everybody's avatars look the same. Well, that was my fault because I was still too inexperienced in drawing people's faces and with coloring. And so a lot of times the shading, I didn't have the shading and stuff. Um, those were just techniques that I hadn't learned yet. And so, yeah, at a glance, when you were looking at a lot of the early avatars that I created, um, they looked a lot alike. Very, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of distinguishing characteristics. And so I started asking people, you know, maybe drawing, you know, some kind of customization or changing the background color or adding in some icons to, from their favorite hobbies or whatever. All right. So David asks, program. Well, I'm assuming you're talking about the program that I'm using to draw on. This is Procreate by Procreate. It's a company based out of, I think, Melbourne, Australia. It's an Australian-based company. Fantastic application. It's one of the best uh, drawing apps out there. It's only available for iPad. Well, for iOS, you can get an iPhone version as well. But this has become my go-to application for drawing avatars. I use other avatar. I use other apps for other types of drawings, like for the slides that I create for my talks and presentations. I use Sketches Pro, also on the iPad, and for like Illustrator work, you know, book covers, logos, designs, all those kinds of things. I use um, Affinity Designer, which has an amazing app on both the iPad and Mac and Windows. If you're a Windows person, you can get Affinity Designer on Windows too. Hello, good to see you folks. Thanks for joining the stream. Back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, so I've got the hair color. Let's go ahead and lay down some colors for the suit and tie. So maybe not a super dark gray, but I'm going to go with a gray for the suit. And a cool thing about Procreate is that once you get any kind of shape filled in, you can just drag and drop that color from the top right corner, and it will fill that thing in, whatever that thing is. All right, and so the tie, kind of a brown, maybe. I'm gonna go with brown. And then the shirt is a very light blue, but I'm going to make it a little bit darker blue. Whoops, that didn't work. And let's do a same standard brown for the tie. All right. Now we move on to shading. So typically what I do is take the next layer up and change that to a multiply layer and use gray, or no, in this case, I start with skin shading first. So I'll take a darker skin tone, and so the way multiply works, if you haven't seen me do this before, is if I draw this color on top of white, it's that color. But if I draw that same color on top of a tan, it it becomes a different shade. It takes whatever color is underneath and it multiplies it. So like if I were to draw on top of this gray, it becomes like some kind of dark brown or something. So this is my go-to technique for shading faces, facial features. Let's see. Eyes and the eyelids, and then nose, bridge of the nose. Sometimes come in here and add a little bit for that side of the bridge. Shade in the ears. And since this is a full face or a full head and shoulders, I will, let's see, shade in part of the neck. And that's pretty much it on the facial. So then I'll come and next layer up, set that to multiply, and then use a gray, and then I'll add like some shadow. Under the nose. Add some crease to the smile. And maybe I'll get a darker gray and add just a little bit more detail to the nostrils there. Make them look, stand out just a little bit more. Excuse me. Need some more coffee. Then add some shading along the side. Under here. Oh, one thing I didn't do on this layer, sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. You know, it depends on the person, but you know, that's a character detail, and also the nose. Just little things. Maybe add a little bit here, the hairline. All right, back to shadows. Let's see. What I usually do is take, when I'm doing hair, sometimes I do hair on a separate layer, but I'll take a darker gray, you know, create some texture or, you know, hair on the eyebrows. See what I'm doing there? Fill that in. And then same kind of thing with the hair up top. So depending on the type of hair, whether it's kind of wavy or more jagged. Let's see. Now, taking a step back and looking at it again, um, when I drew these cheeks, I drew them differently, and kind of looking at the photo, I think this side is better. So I need to probably come in. Well, I need to be on the correct layer. Sometimes sometimes the magic happens, sometimes it doesn't. Just need to bring this cheek up a little bit. Sometimes I get in one of these situations and I just can't be satisfied. So I just give up and redo the whole thing, but I don't want to do that. I don't know. It's tough sometimes. Figure out the right thing to do. Especially when you don't know the person, you're just going on one photograph. You know, you're just kind of having to guess as to what, you know, they look like in real life. I'm gonna leave it at that. All right. So back to shading. Also do some shading down here with the shirt, underneath the collars, next to the jacket. And then for the jacket, I'm going to just some kind of random, pretending like there's a shadow or something, just kind of randomly pretend like there's some kind of shadow going on. Like lights coming in from the person's left side, casting a shadow across the rest of the suit jacket. And speaking of light, that'll be the next step, is to go another layer up and change this layer to soft light, and take a white, create like some highlights to like the nose and the cheeks, forehead. And maybe some highlights to the jacket itself. Shirt. Like that. Maybe some little bit of highlights to the hair. And even the eyebrows. Sometimes I'll do some highlights there. And I'm going to say it's pretty much done. So go up a layer and add a signature. Wrong pen or wrong brush. Hope that's close enough. Hope the owner of this drawing likes it. I will send this off. Export this as a PNG. One thing that I haven't done in a long time, folks don't usually ask for it, but I'm just going to try something here. People are usually pretty happy with a white background, but could be, let's say, some shade of blue. Drop that on there, and so that's too much, right? So I'll take that and lighten it up some, just to give it some subtlety. And then you could do something like take a white and just create a circle, fill that circle in, and then on this same layer, change the what's called a Gaussian blur, and create like a, I don't know what you call it. get some kind of effect. It's a Gaussian blur on that white. You could also do the same thing with black and create like a shadow kind of layer. So I'll back off that opacity of that white just a little bit. You know, kind of gives um, you know. And now with that background, it makes me want to change the color of the shirt. So maybe I'll choose a no, oh no. Now it's kind of purple. I'm just playing around. Let's stop there. So anyway, if you want to commission a drawing at some point and you happen to be watching right now, um, know that almost all the drawings that I create are with white backgrounds, which look good on things like Twitter and Instagram, and if you're using it as an app avatar. But if for some reason you wanted a custom background color of some kind, I can do that. All you gotta do is ask. Um, let's see what the black would look like. So if I do a black circle and fill that in, and then do that same kind of Gaussian blur effect. So it creates a bit of a shadow. Maybe instead I will move it down to here. And then create that Gaussian blur, and then maybe tweak the opacity a little bit. And now it's kind of a shadow effect instead of a um, you know backlight kind of effect. So just playing around, showing you what those kinds of techniques are with Procreate. All right, that's drawing number one. What else can we do? I've got 3 other commissions sitting here in my queue that I need to do at some point. I can do one of these, or let's see, what else could I do? So we got about 20 minutes left. I'm going to the other day, last Wednesday, when I failed to be able to create my last stream. Oh goodness! Yeah, it looks like the video issues are back. Man, I am so sorry that the internet is not cooperating with the with doing these live streams. Um, I will. You know what? Next time I do this, um, or I don't know about next time, but in the near future, I will be relocating my office so that I can have a direct connection to the internet instead of over Wi-Fi, and I'm hoping that that will fix the quality issues of the video stream. My apologies. I didn't realize that the quality had degraded during the stream. I don't know when that happened, but I with that I'm not going to do any more drawing today, just to because I know that would be frustrating to try to watch and it being can't really see what I'm doing. So with that, folks, I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you take some of these things that I'm doing and maybe it inspires you or encourages you to to have fun with either art or whatever it is that you're passionate about. I want to, as I normally do, tell folks that I didn't start drawing until a few years ago, and it's just been through patience and practice and things that and I've gotten to where I am, and I sure do enjoy it, and I'm loving that I'm getting to share these things with all of you, and I encourage you to do the same. So if there's something that you're passionate about, that you geek out about, um, work up some courage to share it with other folks, because you know you never know if something that you do um, may be a catalyst that sends someone else on their journey of exploration and having fun with either technology or art or whatever it may be. Thank you, Mr. Hobbs. Thank you, Troy. I will see you all again on another stream in the near future. So, hope you have a blessed day and talk to you again soon.